disowning God, God whispered to him. And I'm sure, parents, God is whispering to you. Because at that moment when Elijah was in the cave, God did not shout at him. At times when we are in pain, God does not shout at us. He knows we can't hear a shout. He whispers to you. God is whispering to you, parents. Listen keenly. In your moments of meditation, in your moments of loneliness, listen keenly. God is speaking to you as he spoke to Elijah, speaking through a still, small voice. Maybe you are not hearing because it is very still. It is a whisper. You are in tears. You are mourning. You are counting losses. The whisper. God is speaking as he spoke to Elijah. And he told Elijah, go back to where you came from. More good things await you. Parents, after this loss, God is speaking through a whisper to you and telling you, it's not over. It's not over. I have good plans for you. I have no hatred towards you. I didn't pick your children because of your sins. And I remember I told you on 8th not to listen to anyone telling you these things have happened because of some things you didn't do right. Some wizards and witch doctors, they may be in big business now. Because this is a time when you are very vulnerable as parents. They might have relocated to Kieni. Area MP, help us to identify them. The witch doctors, the wizards who have come all over here to open business because they know that these parents are very vulnerable. And they will tell you why it happened. It is because you didn't pay dowry in full. It's because of a lady you are to marry and you didn't marry. That's why your child has died. All manner of prescriptions will be offered. But all that is lavish. Because people of God have suffered. People who are close to God have suffered. In fact, God himself has suffered. Because you remember when Apostle Paul, before he became an apostle, was headed to Damascus. When Paul, before he became an apostle, was headed to Damascus. When God confronted him, he told him, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Meaning, although he was persecuting people, it was God who was feeling the pain. So God has also suffered. Because the Lord told him, why do you persecute me? Remember, Christ on the cross. The Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 15, verse 34. Christ is on the cross and he is saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. When you hear someone speak their mother tongue, they are in trouble. I can speak English now. But the moment I get into trouble, I will speak the first language I was taught by my mother or my parents. So Jesus is speaking in his mother tongue. That is how it is recorded. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. Translated, my father, why have you forsaken me? So God has also suffered. So suffering is not reserved for sinners. Of course they have their share, which is agonizing, which is painful, because they have nobody to cry to when they sin. When a sinner suffers, they have no recourse. They have nobody to turn to. At least Jesus could turn to the Father. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, my father, why have you forsaken me? And because God was with him, eventually he says, to you I have committed my spirit. So he was not alone. So the fact that God has also suffered should comfort our parents here that their loss is felt by God. us not try to understand why it happened. It may take a long time. There are many things that have happened that we have never known the cause. We may never know